wasn't the strongest, tallest, or most impressive. In fact, when the prophet came to choose a king, David wasn't even invited to the room. That's how little the world thought of him. It was a tense day in Bethlehem. The prophet Samuel had arrived, sent by God himself, on a secret mission to anoint a new king of Israel. Saul, the current ruler, had lost God's favor. Samuel, carrying a horn of oil, entered the house of Jesse, where 7 strong sons stood lined up like candidates at a royal audition. Each one looked like a king in the making: broad shoulders, chiseled features, commanding presence. Samuel looked at Eliab, the eldest, and thought, surely this is the one. He was tall and noble, the kind of man people would follow without question. But then the voice of the Lord whispered to Samuel, shaking everything he thought he knew, "Do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." One by one, Jesse's sons were paraded before the prophet, and one by one, God said no. Confused, Samuel turned to Jesse. "Are these all the sons you have?" That's when Jesse hesitated, almost as if embarrassed. "There is still the youngest," he said, "but he is tending the sheep. David, the forgotten one, the shepherd boy left out of the lineup because no one imagined God could choose him." But Samuel said, "Send for him. We will not sit down until he arrives." And when David walked in Dusty's, with bright eyes and a quiet spirit, God spoke again. "Arise, anoint him, for this is the one." Why David? Why the boy nobody counted? It wasn't because of his looks, or his strength, or his status. It was because of something no one else could see. His heart. David had a heart that beat for God even in solitude. While others were impressing crowds, David was singing psalms to the Lord among sheep. While his brothers were showing off their strength, David was practicing courage in silence, killing lions and bears with a sling and a prayer. No applause, no spotlight, just faith. That's what God saw. God chose David because David was already choosing God. Long before David became king, he learned how to be faithful in the little things. In the fields, in the quiet, in the waiting. He wasn't perfect, far from it, but he was real, honest, humble, teachable. His heart wasn't puffed up with pride, but poured out like a psalm. "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." This is why God said, "I have found David, a man after my own heart." The world crowns the impressive. God crowns the surrendered. The lesson is timeless. Maybe you've been overlooked. Maybe you feel like the last choice, forgotten in the background, while others are applauded. But the story of David reminds us that God sees what no one else does. God isn't looking for perfect people. He's looking for faithful ones. So guard your heart. Tend to it like a shepherd. In the quiet places, where no one's watching, build a life that honors God. Because the God who chose David is still choosing to do not based on height, talent, or fame, but on the posture of your heart. God does not choose by appearance or popularity. He chooses those who are faithful in the shadows, obedient in the little things, and hungry for His presence. Don't wait for a spotlight to serve God. Be faithful now in your work, your prayers, your obedience. The one who sees in secret still anoints kings in private. Let your heart be the reason heaven pauses and says, "That's the one."